Hi everybody. Evidently today is International Chardonnay Day, so I was asked to do a tasting of my favourite Chardonnay. It's something I found incredibly difficult to determine because there are so many fantastic Chardonnays available from right the way around the world. It's a great variety that so many winemakers love and have made their own. Eventually my decision was to go for something with power and oomph, as well as some elegance, but so I settled on an Bon Climat Chardonnay. This particular one is the estate bottled Chardonnay, the Nuits-Blanches au Bouge, which is from the Santa Maria Valley. So we're talking about a wine that's come from down by the coast in Santa Barbara County. It's a valley that runs, it would be northwest up to the sea. So you get all the cooling influences of the maritime influence there, and perhaps some fog sometimes keeping temperatures down while you've got really good sunlight hours to ripen grapes. And so the grapes are getting plenty of flavour but retaining lovely freshness. Bon Climat are iconic as far as American Chardonnays are concerned. Jim Clendenen, one of the founders and who is still the owner, loves sort of rich toasty flavours and was one of the pioneers of that sort of style of wine coming from California. And yet at the same time with this wine he's tempered that with elegance. The notes on this sort of say that 90% of this comes from the Bien Nacido vineyard, very famous vineyard, but Jim believes that gives power to the wine, and then they put in 10% of wine from their Bon Climat wine vineyard, just to give the wine a sort of more acidity, more lightness, more freshness, and a longer finish. And to my mind, I think this has worked very well. To try the wine, looking at it, you've got a wine that's 13% alcohol. In the glass, it's got a deep yellow, but it's more on the sort of lemony side of things. It's not turning sort of darker. As you swirl it, you can see if you look closely, possibly not from the video, thick tears coming down the glass, showing the alcohol and showing the extract in the wine. When you smell it, you almost don't have to put the glass to your nose. There's a rich opulence sort of bounces out of the bottle almost. The vanilla, the ripe fruit, very, very obvious. The initial aroma is sort of peach, almost a sort of an unctuous ripe peach, and then there's vanilla, but it's beautifully integrated, almost with a sort of a salty type note to it, and then you've got a butterscotch richness that fills out the end of the aromas. Tasting the wine, the wine is powerful. It coats your tongue, you can feel it there, but also I can feel myself salivating. It's got really good acidity and the flavours really, really last. Again, you've got that sort of beautiful peach, you've got notes of white flour on the top of that. Going on, it builds, there's the vanilla notes, the diacetyl butterscotch flavours from the malolactic fermentation. The wine spent nearly 2 years in barrel, in new oak barrel. And in fact, given that the oak flavours are beautifully integrated, the fermentation in barrel has enabled that, but also the fact this is a 5-year-old wine, this is the 2015, and this is just, it's developing on my tongue. You can taste that sort of butterscotchy, buttery notes there. There's a richness to the palate coming from the lees aging, and yet the finish is delicate and clean. There's almost a hint of sort of gingery spice, a lemony freshness at the finish, and mineral notes. This is an incredibly complex wine, and I'm looking forward to drinking it later with a little bit of, I think we'll have some salmon this evening. So, happy Chardonnay Day, everybody. Whatever you're drinking, I hope you enjoy it.